Another customization that we can add to our plot is a legend. We all know what a legend is. It simply gives information about each of the graphs and what they actually represent. We have given labels to our axes, but we now have more than one graphs and we don't know what is the difference between these graphs. The way to fix this is to use the legend function. So legend, open brackets, and give it a value. Our first graph is for 10 ohm resistance. So we can say R1 equals to 10 ohms, like that. And we can run it. And there we have it. We have the blue line with the red cross. R1 equals to 10 ohms. Now, we can make this one a subindex of the R, so we can use an underscore, and now you can see that the 1 became a subindex of the R. Now, just a side note here, if you want to have a longer subindexes, so maybe you want R15, if we run it like that, it's not going to work. As you can see, only the 1 became a subindex. So if you want to have a subindex that is of more than one characters, you have to use curly brackets like that, and there we have it, R15. But we're working only with R1, which is 10 ohms. And we can also use LaTeX syntax to create the omega symbol, like that. Alright, as you can see, now we have R1 equals to 10 ohms. We can even put it in square brackets. I will add a reference to to a LaTeX table so that you can see all of the symbols that you can use. But if you know what LaTeX is, you can use these symbols by using a backslash before the symbol. Now, R1 is not the only resistance that we have here. We have 3 additional resistances, R2 and R3. To add more resistances to increase our legend, we have to use curly brackets that will envelop all of our legend values, and we will separate them with commas. So next is R2 equals to 10 ohms, so omega, like that, and R3 equals to 30 ohms, omega, and this is actually 20. Now let's run it, and there we have it. We have a legend with all of our 3 different graphs. It shows what each of these graphs do. Now, I want to tell you one other reason why styling your lines in such way and adding a legend is useful. If you print this graph and you print it in black and white, and if you use only a single color with no dashes, no dots, nothing on your graphs, they will be indistinguishable. So it's very useful to use this approach, not just to make them colorful, but to have them understandable even in black and white. Now, we can change the stylings of our legend. We can add many different stylings. The ones that you are already expecting are the font size, the font weight, and the color. The way to do this is to use font size. Let's make it 15. Font weight. We can also make it bold. And the color, to change the color, we need to use text color. Let's make it blue, just to show you. So there we have it, blue color. We can also make it white, and we don't see it, but we can also change the background color of the legend, which is done by using the color value pair. So we can make the background color black, so we can make it black on white. You can use any combination of colors that you may want. I'm going to remove this and make it blue, like that. Let's run it. There we have it. Now it's a bit bigger, it's a bit more readable, a bit more viewable, but now it gets on the way of our first graph. We can't see the whole graph, we can't see all of its values. I want to move this legend in our left upper corner. To do this, we have to use the location. And location on the graph is represented by the compass directions. So we have north, east, west, south, southwest, northeast, northwest. And for what I want to do, we have to use the northwest position, like that. And there we have it. And two additional things that I want to show now. As you can see, this row got very large very quickly. So what we can do here before I move on, we can use the three dots to separate our different stylings on a new row like that. Text, color, location. Now it's much more readable and understandable what is happening. So we can change now our orientation. By default, our orientation of the legend is vertical. We can change it to horizontal, and let's run it. And as you can see now, everything is on a single row. We can change it back to vertical, and this is our default legend layout. And finally, we can turn on or off the box of the legend. So we can say box off like that, and we have the legend itself with no boxes. So this way, even if we have it on top of our graph, we will not have a box that will get in the way of the graph. We can still see it. Of course, it's not pretty, but at least we can see it. So it makes the background of the legend transparent. It's non-existent. Now let's move it back. All right, and we can also set a title for our graph by using the title function. So title, let's say the title for our plot is change in current for R1, R2 and R3 like that. Let's run it, and there we have it. And of course, no surprise, we can use all of the same stylings to stylize our title. So we can say font size equals to 15, and we can change the font weight to bold, and we can change the color, of course, if you want to do something like that. So color, let's make it white. And of course we can see it, so let's make it blue. Yep, black. All right,